That voice? That mustache? You know exactly who we're talking about. He's the man who embodies cowboy cool, with a presence that's a mix of rugged authority and quiet wisdom. But the journey of Hollywood legend Sam Elliott didn't start on a dusty trail. It began on a sun-drenched California beach, where a young lifeguard had a big dream. This is the incredible 50-year story of how a character actor with a one-of-a-kind look and sound became a true cinematic icon. Born in Sacramento, California in 1944, Samuel Pac Elliott grew up mostly in Oregon, where he developed a deep love for the outdoors. By the time he was 9, he knew he wanted to be an actor, a dream that his father, who worked for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, wasn't exactly thrilled about. That tension never really got resolved. His father died of a heart attack when Elliot was just 18. That loss lit a fire under him. As Elliot later said, his father's doubt either weighed on him or, more importantly, hardened his resolve to make it. He left the University of Oregon and eventually made his way to Los Angeles. To pay the bills, he worked construction jobs and took acting classes, grinding it out in the big city. He was one of the last actors signed under the old studio system, landing a contract with 20th Century Fox. It promised work, but it was no guarantee of stardom. The late 1960s were a blur of small parts on TV shows like Mission Impossible and the FBI. His big screen debut was a role so small you could miss it. Card player number 2 in the 1969 classic Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. While the part was minor, he did share the screen with his future wife, Catherine Ross, though the two wouldn't officially meet for nearly another decade until they filmed The Legacy together in 1978. For years, this was his life, paying his dues with guest spots on everything from Gunsmoke to Hawaii Five-0. He was a working actor, but the role that would change everything was still on the horizon. After years of playing cowboys and cops, 1976 marked a huge turning point. Elliot landed his first leading role, not in a Western, but in a quiet drama called Lifeguard. He played Rick Carlson, a 32-year-old Southern California lifeguard who starts questioning his life choices when he attends his 15-year high school reunion. Surrounded by old friends with conventional careers, Rick has to decide whether to trade his sun-soaked, carefree life for a desk job. The role was personal for Elliot, who had been a lifeguard himself. The film, made on a tiny budget, became a sleeper hit. Paramount Pictures, however, didn't quite get it at first, marketing it as a fun-in-the-sun beach movie, instead of the serious drama it was. Despite that, Lifeguard showed audiences a side of Elliot they hadn't seen before. It proved he could carry a movie, playing a man torn between freedom and responsibility. The film was his breakthrough, establishing him as a leading man with real depth and vulnerability. Riding the wave from Lifeguard, the 1980s were all about Sam Elliott cementing his on-screen persona, while also showing off his incredible range. He leaned into the westerns that felt made for him, starting with the popular 1979 TV adaptation of Louis L'Amour's The Sackets, where he starred opposite Tom Selleck. They teamed up again in 1982 for The Shadow Riders, and these roles solidified his image as the ultimate American cowboy. But just when everyone had him pegged as a cowboy, he took a sharp turn. In 1985, he starred with Cher in the powerful drama Mask. Elliot played Gar, a kind and gentle biker who becomes a loving father figure to a boy with a severe facial deformity. It was a performance full of heart, and the film was a major success, proving he was more than just a guy in a cowboy hat. He finished the decade with one of his most iconic roles, Wade Garrett in 1989's Roadhouse. As the wise, cool-headed mentor to Patrick Swayze's bouncer Dalton, Elliot was the definition of cool. He was the calm in a storm of bar fights, blending his tough guy image with sage-like wisdom. The 80s were the decade when Sam Elliott proved he could do it all. By the 1990s, Elliot had become one of the most respected character actors in Hollywood, especially in the Western genre, which he had completely mastered. He kicked off the decade starring in the 1991 TV movie Coolness, which he also co-wrote and produced. His incredible performance earned him his first Golden Globe nomination. 1993 was a banner year. He played Union General John Buford in the historical TV film Gettysburg, bringing a quiet intensity to the epic battle. That same year, he played Virgil Earp in Tombstone, holding his own alongside Kurt Russell and Val Kilmer in what would become a massive cult classic. As the steady, law-abiding Earp brother, he was the anchor in a storm of gunfire. His great work in westerns continued, earning him a second Golden Globe and his first Emmy nomination for playing Wild Bill Hickok in the 1995 miniseries Buffalo Girls. But his most legendary role of the decade came in 1998, in the Coen brothers' quirky masterpiece, The Big Lebowski. In a small but unforgettable part, he played the stranger, the film's narrator. Dressed in full cowboy gear and sipping a sarsaparilla, he delivered classic lines like, "Sometimes you eat the bear, and sometimes, well, he eats you." The role was a perfect, funny nod to his iconic image and cemented his status as a cultural touchstone. As Hollywood rolled into the 2000s, Sam Elliott kept showing off his amazing range. He stepped into the world of comic book movies, playing General Thunderbolt Ross in Hulk, 2003, and the mysterious caretaker in Ghost Rider, 2007. These roles brought him to a whole new generation of fans, proving his powerful presence worked just as well in a superhero blockbuster as it did in a dusty western. He also lent his famous voice to animated films, like when he played the wise old cow Ben in 2006's Barnyard. But it was his supporting roles in critically acclaimed dramas that really highlighted his skill. In the 2005 satire Thank You for Smoking, he had a darkly funny role as the original Marlboro Man, now battling cancer. Then, in 2009, he joined the all-star cast of Up in the Air. Throughout the 2000s, Elliot proved he didn't need a horse to command the screen. His talent was more than enough. After 5 decades of great work, the 2000s finally brought Sam Elliott the major awards and recognition he'd long deserved. He delivered fantastic guest spots on TV, winning a Critics' Choice Television Award for his role as a menacing gangster on Justified and hilariously playing a doppelganger of Ron Swanson on Parks and Recreation. From 2016 to 2020, he starred in the Netflix sitcom The Ranch, perfectly cast as the grumpy patriarch of a ranching family. Then, in 2018, the role of a lifetime came along. In Bradley Cooper's A Star is Born, Elliot played Bobby Maine, the older brother and manager of Cooper's character, Jackson. With just a few scenes, Elliot showed a lifetime of anger, sacrifice, and deep brotherly love. His tearful confession in the driveway was the emotional heart of the entire film. For that powerful performance, at 74 years old, Sam Elliott received his first-ever Academy Award nomination. His reaction to the news was perfectly on brand. "I think the thing off the top of my head might be, it's about fucking time." The awards kept coming. In 2023, he won a Screen Actors Guild Award for playing a grieving Civil War veteran in the Yellowstone prequel, 1883. In his emotional acceptance speech, he called it the most meaningful acknowledgement of my 55-year career. The long journey from a lifeguard wondering about his future to a celebrated Hollywood legend had finally come full circle. Sam Elliott's incredible 50-year career is a story of talent, persistence, and being true to yourself. From Lifeguard to Tombstone to 1883, his roles have become iconic. What's your favorite Sam Elliott performance? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this story, be sure to like and subscribe for more deep dives into Hollywood legends. Sam Elliott's legacy isn't just in the characters he's played, it's in the icon he's become. He feels like a connection to a classic era of Hollywood, a time of quiet strength and rugged individualism. That voice is instantly recognizable, a comforting, authoritative rumble that has told us so many great stories. His career is a masterclass in how to last in Hollywood, a journey that started with tiny parts and ended with Oscar nominations and universal respect. The guy who started out as a lifeguard on a California beach became the definitive cowboy, a wise mentor, and a true Hollywood landman, proving that sometimes stardom isn't a flash in the pan. Sometimes it's a slow burn, a 50-year epic of grit, grace, and glory.